Good morning, everybody. Dear Rector, dear colleagues, dear family members of our students, dear viewers, and my dear students. It is my pleasure to welcome all of you to the graduation ceremony of the promotion 2021-2022. It seems only yesterday that you arrived at the college in Natolin, and now, very soon, it will be time to say goodbye. But let's not think about it now, and let's start our graduation ceremony and celebrate together the academic year of Éliane Vogel-Polsky promotion. Our choir is invited to take place on the stage, and I would like to ask everybody to stand. We will start with Ode to Joy.
Dear honored guests, dear students, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mattia Filippin. I'm Director of Publicity and Student Recruitment here at the College of Europe in Natolin. And it is my immense pleasure to lead you today through this Natolin graduation ceremony. Before we start, may I ask Robert to show the audience for a moment so that our viewers can also see how beautifully dressed you all are. And so you can also wave to your friends, families, acquaintances who are watching you from all over the world. Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will start today's graduation ceremony with a surprise. So we have a keynote address by a very special person who unfortunately could not be with us today for, you will see, obvious reasons, but wanted nevertheless to congratulate you and share an important message. So ladies and gentlemen, a keynote address by Ms. Olga Stefanishina, Deputy Prime Minister for European and Euro-Atlantic Integration of Ukraine.
Dear Natolinians, it's an honor for me to be invited to speak before you today. I personally consider that the graduation ceremony is the real step into adulthood. The day after tomorrow, you will make decisions on your own, guided by spirit of knowledge you've gained here. For professionals in your spheres, this is the best times, and at the same time, the worst and the most challenging times. But this is also the times that will allow you to make the biggest impact for the good generations to come, for your generation. I'd like to be with you today in person, but due to the severity of situation in Ukraine, we have to limit our traveling and stand hand in hand with the government, the armed forces, and our people to resist this aggression. Already for 125 days, Ukrainian people heroically resist the Russian full-scale military invasion on our soil. We will not surrender. We will not stop believing in a better future for Ukraine and Europe as a whole. And now we know it, because we face so much of suffering and sacrifice. I remember the first days of war. There was not so many those who believed that Ukraine would stand. But the incredible resilience of our people, their commitment to freedom, independence, and democratic development of a country, of the soil they love, have proved that everybody were wrong. Thus, having this knowledge of this 125 days, I urge you to be brave. Think big and remember the high cost of compromises when the values are at stake. Always remember that your choices will form the reality, will form the tomorrow you dream about. Today, Ukrainians are united, mobilized as never before. We understand that we are fighting not only for free, peaceful, and democratic Ukraine, but for Europe as a whole. And we hope for such courage and resilience from our European partners. And I'm grateful that you are among those who act. I was absolutely delighted to find out about your initiative, We Natolinians for Ukrainians. It is a curse and blessing to live in a historic events, and today is historic times that require historic decisions. And you are, starting from tomorrow, on a far front of this history. Let me remind you that EU was designed to ensure peace and development on the European continent after the World War II. But it has failed policy of strategic ambiguity towards Ukraine and likability towards Russia helped to induce escalated war, to induce the suffering our people face. Today, you are also lucky to witness how EU leaders show political leadership and courage by reaffirming the EU's mission for promoting peace and freedom on the European continent. Candidate status for Ukraine and further integration is a powerful political signal of support of a change in this unsuccessful policy. Ending the war launched by Russia in the middle of Europe must be all of the European priority. As our sacrifice shows, half measures are not enough, and any hesitancy is taken by Russian leadership as a permission to proceed with its war against any other country. It's only our resilience, our strong and united answer, which now stops the aggression. As my president told before the war, freedom must be armed, no worse than tyranny. The democracy must be stronger than tyranny to overcome. Unity and democracies are crucial in this fight for the future of Europe. Last year in October, I was visiting Natolin College and had the privilege to speak at the opening ceremony of the academic year. It seems to me that it was 1,000 years ago. So much has happened since then, so much pain and suffering that changed everyone in Ukraine forever, and I believe in Europe as well. Now, as you are on a doorstep of your professional careers, keep in mind that every word and every decision matters. As you graduate, I urge you to try create the world you want to live in, because nobody but us. Thank you so much.
So, a big thank you to Ms. Olga Stefanishina, Deputy Prime Minister for European and Euro-Atlantic Integration of Ukraine, for her very moving address. So now it is my privilege to invite Madam Federica Mogherini, Rector of the College of Europe, for the graduation address. Thank you.
Grazie Mattia. Madam Vice Rector, dear Eva, professors, colleagues, guests, but most of all, dear students, to-be graduates today. Let me start by saying that this is a happy day. This is a celebration day. This is your day. It's the day when you graduate. You feel the accomplishment of hard work and what I think every student defines always as a very intense year, both academically and socially. For some, even a little bit too intense, but that's the beauty of the college experience. So this is definitely a day to celebrate, and this is your day to celebrate. But this is also, as we just heard from the wise and brave words of Deputy Prime Minister of Ukraine, this is also the day that concludes an academic year in a very sad, painful, dramatic, difficult year for Europe and the world. You arrived here some months ago. It seems thousands of days ago, and at the same time yesterday. You arrived here, I perfectly remember, with a sense of maybe anxiety, because we still didn't know how the COVID situation would have developed. And you were brave enough to take the responsibility and somehow also the risk, the calculated risk, of joining such an experience in a year that could have turned in different ways. We managed to go through the pandemic situation this academic year relatively well. But on the other side, something dramatic and unprecedented in the last decades happened in Europe, a war. The most, I would say, terrible aggression that brought us back to the last century. And let me say that I was very proud of how the college community and the students of the College of Europe, you Natolinians in particular, being here, a few hundred kilometers away from the border, have reacted to the war. I was very proud of you. And I think Ukrainians are very grateful and recognize that you managed in this last 100 plus days of war, not only to show solidarity, but also to embody the European values that you're studying. The beauty of the college, the strength of the college, I believe, is that it allows you to not only study Europe, but also to live Europe. You do it through the intercultural exchanges, you do it living together. Sometimes might be feeling that you lack individual space, but that's the beauty of it. The bonds that you create here are forever. But you also experience what it means to build a community of differences based on values and common objectives. And I think that in these last months, you managed to embody the spirit of the European Union, not only with the solidarity and the charity you've put in place, but also somehow with the standing on the protection and the projection of democracy, peace, and respect for the territorial integrity of a country that is a neighbor here and that is part of Europe, and that is today a candidate country to the European Union. I think that you showed with your actions, your words, your symbols, that you are ready, that you are ready to lead, that you're ready to take those responsibilities that Madam Deputy Prime Minister was telling you. Every decision counts, which means you have a big responsibility on your shoulders. Every step, every word, whatever your role will be as of tomorrow, hopefully as of tomorrow, a little bit of holidays, as a few months, every step you will take, every step you will not take, carries a responsibility, effects, consequences. And as citizens of the European Union or not, citizens that are formed at the College of Europe, your actions will be, I believe, I hope, oriented by the values that you've not only learned, but you've also experienced and embodied during this academic year. It has been an academic year with a patron de promotion that has been, for some, a bit strange or controversial, not very well-known Belgian lawyer, Éliane Vogel-Polsky, that I choose on, upon suggestion of some students of last year's promotion. And I would like to thank you here for having participated also so numerously, not only students, but also staff and faculty, in indicating potential candidates for the future patrons de promotion. But I choose Éliane Vogel-Polsky as a patron this year exactly because I wanted to highlight, well, first of all, the role that women and founding mothers of the European Union have to have in our common narrative. We always say founding fathers, and I think as a college we have a responsibility to highlight that there were also some founding mothers. We just need to put the spotlight on them and tell the stories. But also I wanted to highlight that no matter in which position you are, you have a responsibility and you have the power to change things. For good and for bad, responsibility always comes with a burden, with the risk of failing or doing something wrong. But if you don't try, you will never manage. Éliane Vogel-Polsky, I think, taught us that you don't need to be a president or a prime minister or a minister to have an impact on the European institutions, on the policies of the European Union. You can be a lawyer, you can be a professor, you can be an activist, you can be working in the private sector, you can be a journalist. She was a lawyer, and with her action as a lawyer, she changed the policies of the European Union. So no matter what you will be doing as of tomorrow plus holidays, you will have the power and the responsibility that goes with the power to do positive change around you, in Europe, in your respective countries, in the international relations around you, in your community, even in your private life. You have, in particular after this year, you have the responsibility to use the power of the knowledge you have acquired and the experience you have developed. So my advice to you is, for sure, celebrate. For sure, get a little bit of rest and holidays, and also of private space that you might have missed. But also, as of the day after tomorrow, use the power you have. And bless you. Use the power you have, because there is no worse thing to have power, and each of us has some, in our respective sphere of influence. There are spheres of influences that are good. It's the power you have on your community, on your work environment, on your country, on your continent. Use the power you have, because if you get to a certain point of your life, realizing that you had the power and you didn't use it, you are responsible in negative terms for the lack of developments or negative developments. Our previous, a compatriot of our previous patron de promotion, Antonio Guterres, once told me, Federica, there is a big difference between being in power and having the power. Keep that sentence in mind. use the power you have always. This is my humble advice. I would like to thank you because, first, of how proud you made us for your action on the war against Ukraine, because of the way in which you interpreted the model of Éliane Vogel-Polsky this year, and I'm sure she will accompany your steps in the future years and decades to come. But also I would like to thank you for helping us, helping me personally, on the choice of the next patron de promotion. And as tradition, it is my honor and also a lot of emotion for me personally to announce it formally here at the closing ceremony, the graduation ceremony of this promotion, that the new patron de promotion for the next academic year will be David Maria Sassoli. And this is thanks also to your invitations and suggestions. I say this with a lot of emotion because for me he was a friend. I knew him since many years, since before he entered politics. And I can tell you that it was definitely not in my plans to indicate any Italians as patron de promotion. Sorry, Mattia, I know this is a big disappointment, but I thought that the nationality shouldn't have been an impediment for me to indicate the late President of the European Parliament that has embodied so well and so empathically and humanly the values and principles of the European Union. And that I would have done a big mistake if I had let my nationality to be an impediment on what was the most natural choice for the next patron de promotion. I think that the next promotion will be as honored as you have been, having Éliane Vogel-Polsky, having a patron that will accompany them and guide them with strong principles and a lot of courage to say what they believe, you believe is right, and do what you believe is right. One last word, because I know that long speeches are definitely not what you want to have on your graduation day. You want to know about the awards, the prizes, and then celebrate the pictures and be with your friends for the last day and with your family and friends. I want to say one last word on today and the future. You might now look back at this last 10 months and think that I wonder if it's real what you have done, if it's real that it's over. And probably you will take a little bit of time, a few days, to digest, to transition from the being together all the time here in this beautiful place, studying but also organizing extracurricular activities and being together, being part of a community, and then suddenly being out of it. You would wonder maybe today, is it real what I've lived? Did I really make it? Yes, you did. That is real. But also you might wonder, is it real that it's over? Well, I'm here at the college only since 2 years, and it has been 2 particular years. So I need more statistics to create a solid, statistically relevant basis. But let me tell you, what is not real is that this is over. Because, and I know this sounds as a threat, partially it is, once you are in the college family stays with you. There's no way to get out of this experience. First, because it will stay with you in your memories, in the way in which you will think and act and network with your alumni network, because today you move from being a student to being a graduate and an alumni, alumnus or alumna, to be fair to Latin. But the college community, the family, in Natolin, in Bruges, across the campuses, will always be there for you, will always be your community. And we will continue to count on you to be part of this community, which is probably the strongest element, the main strength of the college experience. And I think you can be proud of what you have achieved. Parents and friends can be proud of you. And I think we owe them also gratitude and an applause, because if you are here, it's also because you have had people supporting you and allowing you to come here and bringing you here somehow. But I think, yes. As a parent, I'm getting ready for the graduation day of my daughter. So. But I think that you can be proud and you can project today, together with the celebrations and the pride for what you have achieved, also the sense of responsibility. Because as the Deputy Prime Minister of Ukraine told us just a few minutes ago, it's up to us, it's up to you also. And don't believe to those that tell you you are the future. No, you are the present already. Don't hide behind this. You're young, but you can take responsibilities at your age. You already have the power and the responsibility to do things that are important for our continent, including peace in our continent and democracy in our continent. So I will, for sure, well, spend with you the day, but also see you very soon, somewhere in the world, somewhere in Europe. And I would like to congratulate you on your graduation day and welcome you in the alumni network of the College of Europe that will continue to be your family. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam Rector, for your speech. So, dear students, once you're in a place like this, working or studying at the College of Europe, there is a risk of falling into a trap, a mental trap. What you see behind me are flags from more than 30 countries. And what I see in front of me, and you see around you, are students, people, parents, friends, from also more than 30 countries. Once we study and work at the College of Europe, the mental trap is to take this for granted. This is absolutely not granted, as we can see nowadays in Europe. So appreciate it, understand what it means standing, being in a place where you have more than 30 flags behind you and more than 30 nationalities in the audience. It's something that we need to preserve in Europe. We need to stand together. Moving on, as the academic year is coming to an end, it is also time for us to acknowledge your excellence and hard work, of course. Soon, some of you will be asked to join us here on stage, so please join us from this side. And before you leave the stage, please allow us to take a picture of you, okay? So do not run away immediately. The Director of Studies, Professor Pascaline Vinant, will begin the process of awarding our end-of-year academic prizes, starting with the announcement of the winners of the external master's thesis competitions and the best students per major. So without any further ado, I would like to ask Professor Pascaline Vinant to join us on the stage. Thank you.
Dear students, it is my great pleasure to announce the external prizes and best students of the European Interdisciplinary Studies Master's Program. But first, I would like to tell you how proud of you I am, as your parents and loved ones must also be. There are so many of you in attendance today, so thank you for being with us in these beautiful surroundings. So dear students, you have accomplished so much. There were immense challenges, but in spite of them, this year has been marked by excellence, including in your master's thesis. I was privileged enough to read quite a few of them, some of which made an original contribution to research and to the world of policy. I have no doubt that you will continue to excel and strive to make the world a better place through your creative insights based on in-depth research. This year was also marked by the attention you paid to your fellow students and to those in need in the context of a pandemic and a war next door. I wanted to personally thank you for your commitment as responsible people attentive to the needs of others. This too is how we make the world a better place. I very much enjoyed working with you. I would miss you greatly, so please do keep in touch. Now let me announce the winners of external prizes, then the best students per major, And finally, suspense, the winner of this year's promotion. So I'll come back to this. You'll see in a minute. So first, I think I'm going to have a bit of water. It is very hot today. I don't know, 31 degrees or something like this. I'm not sure. So I am first going to announce the winner of the Martin Sawyer Memorial Prize for the best thesis on a topic related to economics and finances. The thesis title is The Bias-Deficit Bias, Exploring Heterogeneities in Discretionary Fiscal Policy Choices in the EU and the Assumption of a Deficit Bias. The supervisor of the thesis was Benedicta Martinotto, and the winner is Christina Jones-Stewart. And it comes with a price of 1,500 euros, just so you know. That's always enough. Okay. And now the best Italian students, there are two of them. So they each get a prize of 1,000 euros. So the first is Lorenzo Cornetone. And the other winner is Gianmarco Riva. Okay, more suspense. I will now announce the winners of the best major. Okay, so the best students of the EU Public Affairs and Policies major is Reese Podrode-Nugent, and the best student of the EU and the world major is Christina Jones-Stewart.
Congratulations again.
The best student of the EU and its neighbors major is Cole James Fanning. And the best student of the European History and Civilization major is Kylian Nicolas Bourgois.
All the best. Congratulations.
And now I will call my colleague, Professor George Mink, and then Professor Tobias Schumacher to announce the outstanding master thesis in the field of European history and civilization and the outstanding master thesis in the field of European neighborhood policy.
Et en français. Mais vous me connaissez. Madame la rectrice, Madame la vice-rectrice, chers collègues, chères étudiantes, chers étudiants de la promotion Éliane Vogel-Polsky, chers parents. Jusqu'à récemment, nous étions obligés d'expliquer à chaque nouvelle promotion en quoi cela sert de revenir à l'histoire alors que toute la construction européenne est tournée vers l'avenir. Notre mot d'ordre était pédagogique, Historia pro futura. Notre mot d'ordre, mais ce message optimiste est devenu caduc. L'histoire nous permet aujourd'hui surtout de réfléchir au présent, ce présent du retour des atrocités du passé. Le célèbre historien français Henri Rousseau a dit à propos du régime collaborationniste français de Vichy que le passé ne passait pas. Nous pouvons dire aujourd'hui à propos de la Russie que son passé non seulement ne passe pas, mais il se réincarne de la Russie impériale des tsars à la Russie totalitaire soviétique pour finir par la Russie impérialiste de Poutine. Ce fut comme une douche froide pour notre optimisme des citoyens du havre européen. Cette année, l'histoire nous a rattrapés par le biais de la guerre fondée sur une vision négationniste de l'histoire construite par Poutine et ses idéologues. Depuis le 24 février de cette année, la guerre redevient le centre de nos préoccupations et le scandaleux travestissement de l'histoire de l'Ukraine nous rappelle, s'il le fallait, à notre devoir d'enseigner la vérité historique pour renforcer la cohésion européenne. Ce n'est ni le lieu ni le moment pour faire le bilan de la chaire, mais je souhaite dire brièvement que nous vous avons offert cette année non seulement un ensemble de cours, de workshops, de masterclass en histoire, mais aussi une série d'événements comme la visite du camp d'extermination d'Auschwitz, le plus grand cimetière des Juifs d'Europe, mais aussi des Polonais, des Roms et des homosexuels, qui vous est apparu à juste titre comme un puissant avertissement devant le risque de retour en arrière. Nous avons instauré un débat autour du personnage courageux de Gareth Jones, ce journaliste britannique qui a eu le courage de braver l'omerta stalinienne sur l'histoire de la grande famine en Ukraine provoquée déjà par Staline pour anéantir l'identité nationale ukrainienne et qui se répète aujourd'hui dans l'usage inacceptable par les Russes de l'arme alimentaire. Vous avez pu rencontrer M. Marian Turski, un des derniers survivants juifs polonais d'Auschwitz, qui vous a dit de ne jamais rester indifférent face au racisme génocidaire, face aux falsifications de l'histoire. Avec ce bagage, la chaire des civilisations européennes vous a donné cette année des instruments pour combattre le poison du négationnisme historique. Avant d'annoncer les lauréats de meilleure mémoire de fin d'études en histoire européenne, je souhaite saisir l'occasion de remercier mes collègues de la chaire qui ont grandement contribué à notre mission. Il s'agit de Mme Ania Banach, de Dr Weronika Czyżewska, de Professeur Marek Cichocki, de Dr Zachary Mazur et amicalement de Professeur Richard Baterwick-Pawlikowski. Mes remerciements particuliers s'adressent à nos jeunes collaborateurs, Nicolas Nijovic et Jakub Kubica. Enfin, je souhaite, chers étudiants, vous proposer un devoir de vacances qui consisterait à réfléchir à cette phrase de l'écrivain français Paul Valéry. Je cite : « Le négationnisme historique est le produit le plus dangereux que la chimie de l'intellect ait élaboré. Il fait rêver, il enivre le peuple, leur engendre de faux souvenirs, exagère leurs réflexes, entretient leurs vieilles plaies, les tourmente dans leur repos, les conduit au délire de grandeur ou à celui de la persécution, et rend les nations amères, superbes, insupportables et vaines. » Ceux parmi vous qui connaissez cette citation ont sûrement remarqué que je substituais au mot « histoire » le mot « négationnisme historique », plus adapté au temps présent. Et maintenant, le moment est venu d'annoncer les lauréats de meilleure mémoire de fin d'études en histoire. Il s'agit ex aequo de Madame Jade Yafrat. Son mémoire s'intitule « Les relations entre la société civile polonaise et les institutions européennes face à la tentative d'une harmonisation du cadre légal de l'avortement à l'échelle de l'Union. » Mais comme c'est ex aequo, je veux aussi demander à M. Lorenzo Cornettone dont le mémoire s'intitule « The Trial of the Prophet, the problematic relationship between Hegel and Nazism ». Mes félicitations et bonne chance pour l'avenir.
You can start.
Okay. So, this is for you.
But you can see it, yeah? What you have to see.
This is the album.
And you can show it to your
Bravo. Mais je profite de l'occasion de donner aussi ceci comme lecture de vacances, c'est-à-dire 2 tomes produits par notre chaire sur l'Ukraine, précisément. Lorenzo, félicitations. D'abord le diplôme, ensuite vous pouvez montrer à tout le monde ce que vous avez reçu. Comme ça. C'est exactement le même. Et bravo. Félicitations. Et voilà 1 kilo de livres.
Plus, je pense plus.
Ups. Merci beaucoup.
So we move on now with the best students in the field of European neighborhood policy. Professor Tobias Schumacher, the chairholder of the European Neighborhood Policy Chair.
Good morning, dear Rector, dear Vice Rector, dear colleagues, dear students, dear families, my dear Natolinians. Much has already been said by my distinguished colleagues, and as the sun is obviously blazing, as I don't have that much time at my disposal, I would neither want to be repetitive nor drag this out unnecessarily. Therefore, and before I announce the winner of the best MA thesis in the field of ENP or neighborhood studies, allow me to make just one or two very brief remarks. Today, as we have heard, as you know, is a very important day. Obviously, it's an important day because we mark the end of the academic year 21-22. That is to say, your and our academic year has come to an end, and I believe for many of you it may even be, for now at least, one of the most important days of your lives. But from a much broader angle, from the perspective of world politics, it is also a truly important day as it basically marks the end of, I would say at least, a supposedly historic summit meeting of the Group of Seven, the G7, representing the world's leading industrial nations, which in the Bavarian Alps also gathered with 5 major advanced developing countries, among others India and Indonesia, countries that are democratically governed and that embrace, by and large, the rule of law and the quest for freedom. The G7 summit rather, in the past considered to be a mere talking shop, is to be considered historic not only for the symbolism it conveys, insofar as it has brought together, in times of Russia's onslaught on Ukraine and the global food crisis, some of the most powerful and populous democracies in the world, but also because the G7 have pledged to the people of the world, to the people of Ukraine, that they support and stay with Ukraine until the end, to impose on Russia further powerful measures to counter Russian aggression and, in fact, its fair weather ally China in a rather straightforward manner. Today is also an important day as we are just a few hours away from the start of the NATO Madrid summit, which is going to be the most important NATO summit in recent years, if not to say ever since the end of the Cold War. A summit during which NATO will adopt a new military doctrine, a summit that will formally adopt the decision to increase NATO's response force from 40,000 to 300,000 soldiers. Now, as we mark the end of the academic year, your academic year, we are entering, in fact, a new world, a new international system, a global security and economic architecture, the contours and parameters of which are becoming increasingly apparent. We are unfortunately entering an era, a new era of deterrence, presumably a new arms race. We are entering an era where the dynamics of globalization, the way we have grown used to, are increasingly replaced by the felt need of nations for autonomy and self-sufficiency, mainly in order to become less affected by the global fallouts of war and bloodshed. Now, why am I mentioning this today, you may ask? in this context? Well, quite apart from the fact that you and we all will have to live in this newly emerging order, or rather disorder, if you wish, I think that you as Natolinians, as graduates of the College of Europe, have a particular responsibility, as was said by the Rector, as was said by the Deputy Prime Minister. Endowed with conceptual tools, theoretical concepts, empirical knowledge of the European Union and its many policies, of the many neighborhoods, you, dear students, you have been given a unique toolkit that bestows upon you a capability and yet again a responsibility, even a duty, an obligation, you may say, to influence and shape the present and future shape and course of dynamics that have been visibly brought to the fore on the 24th of February this year, but that have been, let us be very honest, already in the making for much longer. Some of you may recall my words from the opening ceremony in the fall of last year when I said that there is no other place like Natolin. That there is no other place where you would be given the chance to learn about Europe's, and I mean Europe's, not just the European Union, Europe's role and place in the neighborhood and the world, and how everything is interconnected. All of us, in various ways and by using different pedagogies, have tried to widen your perspectives and foster first and foremost two features that are and will be among the most important, well, in your present and future life. A, critical thinking, and B, a thirst, a desire to obtain and to apply knowledge for a better world. There always is, as our dear friend Professor Pawlikowski used to say, a longer and a wider view on just any social phenomenon in this world. On this note, dear Natolinians, I urge you to always keep this in mind, and most of all, as I said, to not shy away from the responsibility also the previous distinguished speakers have been making. The new world in the making, if it is to return to the path of peace, stability, equality and freedom, needs you, men and women of goodwill, forgive me, of determination, of knowledge and wisdom, men and women that stand for democratic values and a rules-based order. I trust that we had a chance to instill this understanding in you, and I would also like to thank you for having allowed us to teach you, and I would like to thank you likewise for having given us the opportunity to learn from you. As I have obviously reached the point of saying thank you, I hope you will allow me to also sincerely thank the members of the European Neighbourhood Policy Chair for their incredible contribution also this academic year, Dr. Andrei Tjushka, Dr. Emil Badarin, Dr. Tamar Gamgrelice, and of course, Ms. Maja Olszewska. Thank you. And now, having hopefully built up the tension, allow me to announce the winner of this year's Best Master Thesis in the field of ENP Studies. As a matter of fact, this year's award, ex aequo, goes to two students. The first is a thesis entitled The Clash Between Enduring Masculinities and Emerging Femininities, a frame analysis of EU rhetoric on CSDP military operations in Libya. The first award winner is Ms. Maya Nech. And as I need to ask you to just hold on for a second, I would also like to announce the second one, which is a thesis on Morocco's coercive migration diplomacy, the Ceuta migration crisis. The winner is Marti Clara Planas.
Thank you, Professor Mink. Thank you, Professor Schumacher. There is still one more winner to announce. So I invite Professor Pascaline Winand, who will now announce the best student of the promotion here at Natolin. Professor.
Thank you. So the best student of the promotion is Christina Stewart.
May we ask all the winners to join us, please, on the stage again? Professor Tobias Schumacher, Professor George Mink. So we take one group picture. Thank you very much.
Boys at the end.
Éliane is here.
Yeah, everybody's here.
Thank you very much, and once again, congratulations to all the winners. So, before we continue, as I anticipated before, we just awarded excellence, and it is right to do so. But we also need to, acknowledge hard work of everyone during this intensive academic year, meaning students, faculty, and staff members. As an alumnus of the College of Europe in Natolin myself, in the Maria Skłodowska-Curie promotion, by now 10 years ago, I am aware of how you might feel right now. It is a mixture of excitement, disbelief, nostalgia, but also relief, as you have reached the end of a long and challenging journey. Believe me, similar feelings are shared also by the Natolin faculty and staff, as they now know that they have accomplished what they were supposed to do, which means accompany you all safely to the finish line of this academic year. And also, they are aware that the transfer of knowledge has happened. So please allow me to ask you all to stand up for a moment. Thank you. And to acknowledge each other's efforts, the efforts of the whole Natolin community that made another academic year at Natolin not only possible, but a big success. So a big applause for you all. Thank you very much. So, moving on, we now have a short video message for our Natolin students from the Bruges student representatives, Maria Balassola and Patricia Alonso Castellano.
Dear Natolinians, congratulations, we made it. We're only hours away from officially becoming college alumni. Throughout this year, we have had parallel experiences at the College of Europe, in different countries, different campuses, but united by the same European spirit. A spirit that has led us to give our very best in our respective simulation games, national weeks, and bar nights, slowly shaping our College of Europe identity, which none of us will ever let go of. The college experience, which unites both of our campuses, pushes us to overcome challenges in very similar manners. This has been evident in our respective responses to the outrageous Russian invasion of Ukraine. And from Bruges, we can only admire your temperance and unwavering support to our European neighbors. We learn firsthand about each other's initiatives and unique campus experience when, after more than 2 years of not taking place, we were able to resume the Bruges-Natolin inter-exchange campus visits. For 2 incredible weekends, one in Bruges and another one in Natolin, our campuses came together and the Vogel-Polsky promotion got to meet and enjoy each other's communities.
In Bruges, we hope you enjoyed the warm reception with the rector, the walking tour, and the little picnic we organized in one of our dearest residents. We find it hard to only pick one moment from our weekend in Natolin, when 40 students got to travel to Poland to discover your campus and Warsaw. You were our best dance companions, our best entertainers, and our best tour guides, and we were shocked by the level of energy and talent that there is in Natolin. The inter-exchange program was truly unforgettable, and that is why we know if the memories ever start to get blurry, all we have to do is start singing Parole, and we will feel right back in that sunny afternoon in Natolin. With graduation, our paths are starting to converge in a more permanent way. Because of our interest, our professional paths are going to bring us together in the private sector, in the institutions, in Brussels, all around the world. And we are sure that we will fight together for a more equal and more peaceful society. Bruges and Natolin have brought us together, but graduation is not the end point, but only a milestone in our joint future, as colleagues, as alumni, as friends. Congratulations, Vogel-Polskiers. See you very soon.
So you shocked your Bruges colleagues. It is my pleasure now to give the floor to the Natolin student representatives, Alexandra Shivek, Sara Umada, and Kylian Bourgois, for their address.
Spettabile rettrice, Szanowna Pani Vice-Rektor, honorable guests, families and loved ones, dear colleagues. Buongiorno, dzień dobry, good morning, and bonjour. Thank you for being here with us today. It is an extreme honor to address you today on this special occasion. Yes, indeed, my dear colleagues, we have come to the end of this intense and enriching academic year, which marks also the beginning of a new adventure and hopefully a joyful one. Through the course of this year, the Éliane Vogel-Polsky promotion had the taste of various events, from the COVID-19 life with the morning tests to the lifting of restrictions and getting back to normal life bit by bit. You have shown a remarkable solidarity to not only our Ukrainian friends on campus, but also to those in need. And you have proven emotional and intellectual maturity within the community. We had the pleasure to work with brilliant minds and kind humans, and the adventure has been worth every second of it. We concluded successful projects, attended interesting courses while enjoying this beautiful reserve where we lived for the past 10 months. 10 months, it has been 10 months of mixed hard work, parties, sharing readings, going through the winter, the Polish winter together, which surely brought us together. Looking back, it has passed quickly, but we will keep beautiful memories of interesting exchanges we had outside the stables, during lunch while trying to get some sunshine, and through late projects conducted in R1 common room in Rettinger and in Wlotko. We have worked together, visited around Warsaw and all around Poland together, and those beautiful memories will be the most cherished ones in the Éliane Vogel-Polsky promotion. A strong community with individuals that helped each other and stood strongly with each other through difficult times, but also through cheerful ones. So thank you and congratulations. Our gratitude to our professors also for their generosity and attention to ensure the best delivery of knowledge, but also for their guidance and encouragement to help us find our way in the academic world. This life-changing experience would not have been the same without the people that have been here for us through thick and thin. Thus, we will take this chance to present our warmest appreciation and regards to our most welcoming hosts, from the college administration with the vice rector and members of different departments, to the friends and colleagues here with us, those that assisted us in calling LuxMed and also had always convincing arguments on the best towns and the best snacks in Poland. Please join me for a round of applause to our dear Polska drużyna, Barbara, Karolina, Krystyna, Natalia, Norbert, Paweł, Sebastian, Stanisław, Szymon, and my dear board member and friend, Aleksandra. Great thanks also from all of us to the members of the social committee for their support and efforts in bringing good mood and drinks to the campus. We, as student representatives, reiterate our thanks to all the 34 nationalities that were part of this outstanding promotion. Each and every individual has been the best ambassador for their culture and language. And the diversity of our community, together with your uniqueness, has made the Éliane Vogel-Polsky an unforgettable promotion, one we were extremely proud to represent. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah, for this wonderful speech. Indeed, today, this incredible and demanding year is coming to an end. First, I would like to warmly thank the office, which has taken care of us so well throughout the year, Students' Affairs and Professional Development Office. Thank you, Anis, Adam, Maxim, Łukasz, and Georgios, for your help, support, and care. Thank you. However, these gentlemen are not the only ones who made our stay in Natolin unforgettable. On behalf of the board and the students, I would also like to pay tribute to the everyday backstage heroes of Natolin, the canteen staff, our cleaning ladies, the ICT, the technical staff, the residence services, library, communication, academic administration, academic assistants, and the Lido. Also, a very special thanks to our host, Pani Rektor, Madame Osiecka-Tomecka. Each and every employee of Natolin, thank you for being here with us and for us. This year has been a truly once-in-a-lifetime adventure, a dream that came true. But we would not have been here if not our parents, families, friends, and partners, all those wonderful people who inspired us, who believed in us, and who supported us on this journey. Thank you so much. We have grown up academically and personally in these classrooms, but don't forget the important lessons we have been taught outside those walls. Lessons of intercultural dialogue, diplomacy, compassion, empathy, generosity, tolerance, and solidarity. Today, my friends, we close a chapter. But no matter where the journey goes, or how bumpy the road gets, I would like you to remember one thing. We will always have each other. We came here as strangers, became friends, and today we will be leaving this place as a family. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Ola, for your interventions. I will not repeat anything that they said, but I certainly partake in their efforts to thank every single member of the administration for what they have done for us. It has been a fantastic year, and the year would have been very different without all of you. Again, however, I would like to stress the unwavering commitment of our Vice Rector for this institution, its values, and our promotion. This intense year will now come to an end, and we should all celebrate what we have achieved together. In the next few months, the College of Europe in Natolin will celebrate its 13th birthday. For almost 30 years, this college has produced some of Europe's brightest and most influential minds. Looking back at the year that we have spent together and all that was accomplished, there is no doubt in my mind that we are the future ones. And I look forward to meeting you all in this very special place or elsewhere in 1, 5, 10, 15, maybe 20 years. To look back at all we will have accomplished by then, and to realize that indeed, on this day, we were the future once.
Thank you once more to Ola, Sarah, and Éliane. Thank you. So, time for another small surprise. Let's leave this year once again before leaving. 4 minutes of highlights and the most memorable images from your year and life here at Natolin. So a big thank you to our video crew coordinated by Lucina Armadis who put this together, 4 of you. And now it is my pleasure to invite the Vice Rector of the College of Europe, Mrs. Ewo Śniecka-Tamecka, for the farewell address.
This has been a special year indeed. You have seen it. Dear Rector Mogherini, dear guests, dear parents, dear professors and staff members, and dear students, no doubt it has been an extraordinary year in every sense. It was also a year of unusual hardship. Just as the pandemic seems to have started to ease its grip, a war broke up, forcing millions to flee and many to fight. The clouds of dark times keep casting a gray shadow on our daily lives. But hard times are also times of growth and learning. Today I would like to reflect on the lessons we are learning from the war. I know that so many people said so many words before me. I will try to be very, very short. Olha Stefanishyna, the Deputy Prime Minister for European and Euro-Atlantic Integration of Ukraine, who has just spoken to you in the video message, was also, as you know, the keynote speaker 10 months ago during the opening ceremony at Natolin. The speech she gave back then was enthusiastic and inspiring. It highlighted Ukraine's European aspirations and future ambitions for development and cooperation. We were all happy and looking forward with hope and eagerness, thinking that conditions were good and they boded well for the future. During the last decades, Europe made tangible and fruitful efforts to come closer, to bring prosperity and peace, not only to this continent, but also around it and beyond. And Europe succeeded, and still succeeds. The architects of European construction and the following generations of European people made the dream possible. Today, Europe is the global driving force of freedom, peace, justice, and human rights. Today, Europe is a leading economic power and the hub of cultural diversity. The extent of the success of our European project was such that we even doubted the probability of a war. We wanted to believe that direct armed conflicts are an impossible, if not outdated, idea. It seems we have fallen prey to what some call a normalcy bias. We like what we think is normal, so much that we disbelieve threat warnings. Yet history has given us many signals. The Nagorno-Karabakh war in 2020, the Russian annexation in Crimea in 2014, the Russian aggression in Georgia in 2008, the war in Iraq in 2003. The alarm bells were ringing with the sound imminently closing in on us. But we continued using soft terms like tensions, crises, frozen conflicts, and other euphemisms, which made us fall into the trap of taking peace for granted. The current war on the frontiers of Europe lays bare the fact that we cannot afford to take peace for granted. Peace is not hoping for the storm to pass. Peace does not only mean calm and quiet. Peace is a construction built upon a sound foundation of justice and security. Accordingly, like every structure that we build, peace needs upkeeping and care. Dear students, the good news is we do care. This is an important moment to graduate from the College of Europe. This is a moment where the European project needs you more than ever. Yes, you may have a real impact on the future of this grand cause that gives us peace and prosperity. You are ready now. With the substantial academic knowledge and experience of Europe you received during this intense year in Natolin. It is time to put your potential, expertise, and zeal to work. Dear friends, you have an outstanding opportunity to take part in a new European era where values are at the heart of every idea, plan, and project. No matter where your path will take you, let the compass of the Natolinian experience guide you. And let the European cause be the star that gives you your bearings in life. If you keep your bearings, you keep hope. Not a hope that makes us wait for the storm to pass, but as a firm belief that some ideas, such as peace, security, and justice, are worth fighting for, regardless of how things turn out. So, my dear, keep your bearings as you begin this journey into the seas of history and defend the values we all believe in. All the best, and thank you.
Thank you very much once again, Madam Vice Rector, for your farewell address, and a big thank you to our wonderful pianist, Mr. Lubovich, and this beautiful interpretation of Imagine. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me now in welcoming on stage once again the Natolin Choir, whose performance will mark the end of this closing ceremony.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Today, the Natolin Choir will sing 4 songs that you may or may not have heard before. 2 in English, 1 in French, and obviously 1 in Ukrainian. We have particularly enjoyed singing and having fun together this year. Choir was there for us in the high highs of Natolin and the low lows of Natolin. And we hope our joy to sing together will shine through today. The Natolin singing students also want to express our solidarity with Ukrainian friends here in the college and the Ukrainian nation fighting for freedom and democracy in Europe. The choir will finally like to thank our choir teacher and conductor, Kasha, who has put up with us all year long. And we would also like to give a small shout out to Nina, our honorary choir member. Thank you very much for being with us. Please don't hesitate to clap and even sing along if you feel like it. We'd appreciate some quality encouragement. Enjoy.
away. And all my dreams, it's never quite as it seems. 'Cause you were a dream to me, dream to me. am unwritten, can't read my mind, I'm undefined. I'm just beginning, the pen's in my hand, ending up blank. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you could not find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Write yourself in words unspoken, live your life with eyes wide open. Today is where you will begin, the rest is still unwritten. I break traditions, sometimes my tries are outside the lines. We've been conditioned to not make mistakes, but I don't live that way. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you could not find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Treat yourself in words unspoken, live your life with eyes wide open. Today is where you would begin, the rest is still unwritten. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you could not find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions. I am unwritten.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Natolin Choir. So, this, unfortunately, marks the end of today's Natolin graduation ceremony. So what happens next? 3 things. The first, we now invite you all to join us in front of the Natolin Palace at the stairs for the traditional Natolin graduation picture. Second of all, after the picture, we invite you for lunch at the back of the palace. And last but not least, we have prepared, there is going to be a booth there, 3 souvenirs for each student, now alumnus or alumna of the College of Europe in Natolin. So please make sure to pick them up. It's 3 of them. One, I'm wearing it. Another one will be related to the video that you just saw before of the highlights of the academic year. And the third one, it is something that allows you to carry with you over the summer all the memories of this academic year here in Natolin. So please make sure to pick them up. The booth will be open until more or less 2 p.m. So thank you once more for today's presence. Merci beaucoup, grazie, dziękuję.